Hi, so this video is questions 1, 4, and 7 on the quadratic motion modeling pages for Algebra 2 or pre-calc, depending on which year and when in the year you are. So number 1 says, a rock is dropped from a 100-foot tower. So for my calculus class, one thing I always give them to do is I say D grad. You want to be the grads. So D means draw. So a rock is dropped from a 100-foot tower. So here's the tower, and it's being dropped. So it's kind of just coming down. It's not doing this arc. So it's kind of just doing that motion. It's going to be parabolic because gravity works that way. And this tower is 100 feet. So let's just label that. And the height of the rock as a function of time can be modeled by h of t. The height at each time t is negative 16t squared. We'll see this a lot when we have anything dropping because gravity kind of has that effect of negative 16t squared plus 100. And plus 100 just means it started 100 feet above the ground. Okay, and we want to say how long. So when we see the words how long, it really means we're looking for a time. Okay, does it take for the rock to hit the surface of Mars? Oh, sorry. How long does it take for the rock to reach the ground? And when we say to reach the ground, we want to understand that reach the ground means the height equals 0. So h of t at that moment equals 0. Okay, so d grads means draw. I drew it. G, what am I given? I'm given this function, and I'm given that the h has to equal 0. So I'm just going to substitute instead of h of t, I'm going to put 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 100. And now I have a quadratic equation. I'm trying to find how long t, this is the required. So I'll just put this on the side. So d, draw it out if you can. G, what's given? What do you know? R, what's required? What do you ask to find out? Okay. A is analysis. Analysis is what kind of equation is it? How am I going to solve it? When we do later in calculus, it's like which we have to pick our own equation. So that's a little harder. We're going to skip D because that's another calculus one. And then this can be this is going to be like substitute or solve. Okay, and now analyze and solve. Okay, so here we have 0 equals this. Well, if I have any other quadratic equation, I can do a number of things. I can do factoring to solve, right? I can make it look like this, equals 0, and then 0 property. I can do completing the square. I could do quadratic formula. And on this, here in this question, you actually can choose any one of those options. I can even do square root property by square roots. And I'm actually going to do this one by square roots because it's a nice opportunity to review that. So I'm going to rewrite it here just the other direction. Negative 16t squared plus 100 equals 0. I'm going to subtract 100 from both sides. Negative 16t squared equals negative 100. Divide both sides by negative 16. So we're going to have t squared equals, well, negative over negative is positive. Well, 50 and 8, or 25 and 4. So 25 over 4. Okay, I did not actually make this a decimal. So no, we don't want to use a calculator here. Don't force decimals here. We don't want to force it to be a decimal. It's not useful. Why? Because when we start square rooting this thing, well, square root property tells us t equals pos neg, the square root of this side. When the square root of a ratio, it's really the square root of the numerator over the square root of the denominator. So 5 over 2. But time we know, and only in these problems, we really have two options. Time is positive 5 halves, or that's 2.5, or negative 5 halves. And time cannot be negative in realistic problems. So time is 2.5. And we want to see the units. So usually the units will be seconds. The problem should tell you either it's minutes or seconds, etc. In this case, it's seconds. So time is 2.5 seconds. That's number 1.